Joining me now are New York Representatives Gregory Meeks and Charles Rangel. Congressman Rangel, let me start with you. I thought your remarks were searing and timely and very relevant, connecting what is happening at this moment to America's very troubled and distressing history on race and slavery. What words do you have for Bill Bratton, as you know, he's taken helm as the NYPD commissioner and is going to be overseeing this police force in a very tumultuous time?
Bill Bratton didn't bring slaves to this country. Bill Bratton didn't lynch people. Bill Bratton didn't deny people their voting rights. Bill Bratton doesn't run around saying that whites are superior. This is the disease that the country has. Bill Bratton is just a grain of sand on the beach as relates to this problem. And so when we recruit people, we have to make certain that they understand that we all are human beings. This is a cancer that's at the side of America, and it's not going to be dealt with by just dealing with 1, 2 of the nation's police chiefs. We need our clergy, we need our politicians, we need our president. We need patriots, really, to make this country all that she can be.
Congressman Meeks, would you like to, it seems like an unfinished script as to whether other police officers involved with this may see some kind of indictment. Would you like to see follow through on that front?
Well, I think there has to be follow through. I think it's important for other police officers to stand up and speak up, because this is not a good judgment or good decision for them either. You know, this makes it their jobs, as Joe Crowley said at our press conference, more difficult to do. Because, you know, here is, you have a camera that clearly shows what took place, and it puts folks all across America, you know, it should say, you know, as it took place in the 60s in the civil rights movement, you know, you had Bull Connor who were beating up black folks and no police was being arrested, but those cameras then caused America to rise. And so what we hope that this happens is America to rise peacefully, as took place back then, peacefully, but all over America. The good voices of everybody has to stand up and say no more. We want to make sure that there's justice for all. As Dr. King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
We have to pierce the blue wall, too. You know, good police officers, and most of them are good, dedicated police officers, can't be silent when they see these atrocities being committed.
Congressman Rangel, let me ask you, you know, what do you say to New York City residents who have lived through decades of, you know, questionable police tactics, excessive force, and now a justice system that does not seem to treat everyone equally? What do you say to the people of this city at this particular moment?
New York City has been a very compassionate people, understanding people. We've had atrocities committed. We've had not only people killed by chokeholds, but we had people shot up in their car on the eve of their weddings. We've had other people shot down. And so we recognize that it's only a handful of people that are poisoning, but they jeopardize the lives of young black kids just walking the street. It's very difficult to tell them that in this country that all young men are created equal. That's why Greg, us, the New York delegation, we're calling upon the Justice Department not just to look at this as a police problem. This is a national problem. Clergy should be speaking out. All good people should be speaking out, because it's our kids today. It could be your kids tomorrow.
Congressman Meeks, are you confident in the way that the DA handled this?
No, I'm not. That's why I ask for complete transparency. Generally, one will say that the grand jury process is a closed process. What the DA needs to do is to expose all of the transcripts, so we know what questions was asked of the witnesses. We know how they were treated and what was the results of those questions. But for me, even more importantly, you know, being a former prosecutor, you know, when you go before a grand jury, you ask as the prosecutor for an indictment. I would like to know at the conclusion of his case that he presented to the grand jury, as I'm sure he has done hundreds of times for other cases that he presented to the grand jury, did he ask that grand jury for an indictment on one or multiple charges? That needs to be known. We need that kind of transparency so that everybody can be clear. So otherwise, I shrug my shoulders right now, because I can't believe, looking at the tape, how a jury can come back with absolutely no charges.
The only way that they could do that if they believe that the victim committed suicide.
Yeah, Congressman Rangel, I think that's a hard thesis to come by in terms of people accepting it. And have you spoken, has anyone in the New York delegation, congressional delegation, spoken with Mayor de Blasio or Governor Cuomo about their immediate thoughts on this no true bill?
Well, we know that the mayor has met earlier this week with the president, so we're hoping and we can meet with him, the police commissioner, to see what we as a delegation can do. But make no mistake about it, this is a national problem. As New Yorkers, we're hurt, we're embarrassed, but it's a national problem. And basically, it could be international, as Congressman Meeks pointed out. We go all over the world talking about violation of human rights. And we can't explain to foreigners how this can happen in the great country of the United States of America.
And let me just say, I think New York is probably lucky that we have de Blasio as a mayor right now. He sent out, I think, an excellent statement.
Yeah.
And understand individuals have to go out and to protest and demonstrate, but do so in a peaceful manner. He was disappointed, and I think that he understands more than most, because when he looks at his son every day that has to go out in the street, he knows his son could be victimized by something like this. So I think that in regards to the mayor and the statement that he's made, it's an excellent statement, and I look forward to working together. But as Mr. Rangel has indicated, it doesn't stop with just New York City, because this is a national issue that we've got to confront from East Coast to West Coast, from the North to the South. It's an America problem that we've got to fix here.
It is indeed an American problem. Congressman Charlie Rangel and Congressman Gregory Meeks, thank you both for your time.
Thank you.
That is all for now. I will see you back here tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. The Ed Show is continuing our coverage next.